Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today we're diving into something really interesting. It's finance, but not in the way you might think.
Yeah, not at all.
You've given us this source, kind of a memoir, kind of a motivational guide, and it seems packed with financial wisdom.
It really is.
So ready to uncover some of those golden nuggets and learn how to spot opportunities that most people miss.
I'm ready. Let's dive in.
Okay, so the author jumps right in with this anecdote about Alexander Graham Bell.
Oh, right, with the telephone.
Yeah, and get this, he actually offered the patent to Western Union.
For 100 grand, can you believe it?
$100,000 for something that, let's face it, changed the world.
I know, right? And they turned him down.
Seriously.
Yeah, they just couldn't see the potential.
Talk about a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
But you know what this is to me? It's about recognizing those emerging trends, seeing the value even before it's obvious.
Absolutely, and that ties right into what the author calls financial literacy. And it's more than just, balancing your checkbook. It's understanding how this whole system works.
Exactly. They even compare it to, like, understanding land ownership in the past.
Oh, I get it. If you didn't understand that back then,
You were in big trouble.
you're basically left behind.
And that's what they're saying about today.
Yeah.
That being financially illiterate is like, well, you're just not equipped to navigate the modern world.
So how do we develop that financial intelligence? Well, the author introduces this board game, Cash Flow.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that.
Have you ever played it?
I have. It's really interesting.
It's not Monopoly, right?
No, not at all. This one actually simulates real-life financial decisions.
It's like a flight simulator, but for your money.
Exactly.
And the author talks about this woman who played it, and she couldn't grasp it.
Oh, wow.
And then later she realizes that the game was like mirroring her own life.
Oh, no, really?
Yeah, she'd relied on her husband to manage everything, and after a divorce, she was left with very little.
That's heartbreaking, but it makes you realize.
How important this stuff is.
Absolutely. It's about taking control of your own financial well-being.
Right. It's about becoming financially empowered, and I think that's a great point.
And you know what else? This idea of financial intelligence goes beyond just numbers.
Okay, I'm listening.
It's about being creative, being flexible with your finances.
So, thinking outside the box.
Exactly. And this is where the author says something really interesting. They say, money is not a real asset.
Wait, what? But we all want more money, right?
Sure, we do.
Yeah.
But they're saying that money is just a representation of value.
Okay.
True assets are things that generate income, things like businesses, real estate, things that put money in your pocket.
Okay, so things that actually produce something.
Exactly. And this is especially important now in the information age.
Because everything's moving so fast.
Right. Fortunes are made and lost faster than ever.
I mean, look at those traders making millions just buying and selling contracts online.
It's a whole new world out there.
And speaking of fast moving, the author talks about the real estate market, specifically that crash in the early 90s.
In Phoenix, right.
Yes. And instead of panicking, they saw it as an opportunity.
They saw all these undervalued properties just ripe for the taking.
Talk about turning lemons into lemonade, right?
Right, Clay.
And what's really cool is they actually break down a specific deal where they turned $2,000.
No way, really. Into how much?
$190,000. Now, I know it sounds crazy,
It does.
but here's the thing. They're very upfront about the fact that this strategy might not work in every single situation.
Right. It's not a guarantee.
It's about taking these principles and adapting them to your own situation.
Exactly. You can't just copy someone else's playbook.
You have to be able to think for yourself.
And that's what we're going to talk more about, those specific strategies and principles anyone can use.
Perfect. Because knowledge is power, right?
Absolutely. The more you know, the better equipped you are to succeed.
Love it. So should we take a quick break and come back to this?
Sounds good to me. It's funny you mentioned that $2,000 to $190,000 deal because the author really emphasizes, like, they're not just bragging about it.
Right.
They actually list 5 reasons why they share these stories, and it's all about helping others.
Okay, I'm all ears.
So first and foremost, they want to inspire people to learn.
I like that.
They truly believe that anyone can achieve some level of financial success.
Yeah.
And sharing these experiences is a way to kind of, like, spark that curiosity.
It's like, hey, if I can do it, maybe you can too.
Exactly. And that leads into the second reason, which is to show that building wealth, it often starts with small steps.
Okay, because not everyone has a ton of money to throw around right away.
Exactly. And that ties into the third reason, which is to challenge this idea that only a select few can be wealthy.
Right, like it's not about being born into money.
Exactly. It's about having the right mindset, the right skills.
Okay, I'm with you.
The fourth reason is to show that there are many different paths to financial success.
It's not one size fits all.
Not at all. It's about finding what works for your risk tolerance, your goals, all of that.
I like that. It's very personalized.
And finally, they want to show that financial knowledge, it doesn't have to be scary or complicated.
Because sometimes it feels that way.
I know, right?
Yeah.
But by sharing their experiences in these relatable stories, they kind of demystify it.
Make it more accessible.
That's the goal.
Okay, that makes sense. And they actually go into another real estate example in the source, a smaller scale one this time, where they buy this kind of rundown house.
Oh, interesting.
They fix it up a bit, rent it out for a year, and then sell it when the market improves.
Classic strategy.
Right. So what's the key takeaway there for you?
I think it's about starting small. You don't need a ton of money to get started, but you do need to be willing to take that first step.
To just jump in?
Exactly. And this leads into a really important distinction the author makes between two types of investors.
Oh, okay. I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
So you've got your package investors. They're the ones who go for things like mutual funds, REITs, that kind of thing.
So more hands-off, less risky.
Exactly. But then you have those investors who actively create their own opportunities.
Oh, so they're out there hustling.
Yeah, they're the ones finding the undervalued properties,
Mhm.
identifying the up-and-coming markets.
The deal makers.
Exactly. And while both approaches have their place, the author definitely leans towards that second type.
Being more proactive.
Yeah, because it gives you more control, potentially higher returns.
And you really learn the ins and outs of the market.
Exactly. So how do you become one of those opportunity-spotting investors? Well, the author outlines 3 key skills.
All right, lay 'em on me. I'm ready.
First and foremost, you've got to be able to find those overlooked opportunities.
So seeing what others don't.
Exactly. Seeing the potential where others might just see problems. It's about challenging your assumptions, being open to possibilities.
It's like that saying, one person's trash is another person's treasure.
Right. Exactly. And the author tells this great story about their friend who bought this rundown house.
Oh, here we go.
And everyone thought it was a teardown, but they had this vision.
They were like, I can see it now.
Right. And they discovered that the lot could be subdivided, so they sold the extra land.
Wow. So they made their money back and then some?
Exactly. All because they saw the potential that no one else did.
That's amazing. Okay, what's the second skill?
The second skill is all about raising capital. And this is where the author says you don't always have to go the traditional route of begging a bank for a loan.
Okay, because that can be intimidating.
It can be.
Yeah.
So they're talking about being creative, using private lenders, seller financing, even partnerships.
So thinking outside the bank.
Exactly. It's about finding those win-win situations.
I like it. All right, we've got finding opportunities. We've got raising capital. What's the third skill?
And this one might be the most important of all. It's building a strong team. The author emphasizes that you don't have to be an expert in everything. You don't have to know it all.
Yeah, makes sense.
It's more about knowing your own strengths and weaknesses, right?
Uh-huh.
And then surrounding yourself with people who can fill in those gaps, who complement your skill set.
So like if you're great at spotting opportunities, maybe you're not so good with the legal stuff.
Exactly. Or maybe the financial details.
Right, that's where you bring in the experts.
Precisely. It's like building your own personal dream team,
I like that, having your own board of advisors.
right? Each person bringing something valuable to the table.
So it's not about being a lone wolf investor, it's about collaboration.
Exactly. The author even compares it to playing tennis,
Okay. Not sure I followed that one.
Well, they say they approach both with the same mindset.
Okay.
Go for it, make mistakes, learn from them, keep improving.
So it's about the process, not just the outcome.
Exactly. And not being afraid to fail.
Because that's how we learn, right?
Exactly. Every win, every loss, it's all part of the journey.
I like that. And it kind of sums up this whole deep dive, doesn't it?
I think so.
It's about shifting our perspective on money, on opportunity, even on ourselves.
Absolutely. It's about realizing that we all have the potential to achieve financial success.
It's not just for the lucky few.
Right. It's about knowledge. It's about mindset. It's about taking action.
Well said. And on that note, I think it's time for us to wrap up this incredible deep dive.
I agree.
We've covered so much ground, from spotting those emerging trends to building a team of experts.
It's been quite a journey.
It has. So if someone is listening to this right now, what is that one key takeaway you want them to walk away with?
That they have the power to create their own financial future.
I love it.
It's out there. The opportunities are there. But you have to be open to seeing them.
And you have to be willing to take that first step, to take control.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Don't wait for opportunity to knock. Go out and create your own rate.
That's what we're all about.
Love it. Thanks for joining us, everyone, for this incredible deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.
And until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep reaching for those financial dreams.
See you next time.